I feel so bad for Nazuna right now. This entire scenario sucks for Nazuna. My girl has her friend show up after 10 years, threatens her other friend, and then it turns this whole situation where, yes, her friend just wants her to take her out. After all this time, she just wants her to take her out. And she's stuck between both friends and the idea that she wants to protect Ko, but at the same time, she doesn't want to take out Anko. And that revelation comes up, and Anko walks out the door literally saying, of all the people to take me out, I wanted to be you. What a crappy situation to be put in. I feel so bad for Nazuna. She's apologizing to Ko over here like, I'm sorry, I couldn't do it. She said that she's going to take you out, but I couldn't do it. And he's like, it's good, girl. I didn't want you to do that. I don't want you to do something that's going to make you cry. You did the right thing. In the end, this is what she wanted, and you didn't give that to her. That's a good thing, girl. It just all sucks. But yes, the ending of the episode. Ko gets shot. My gosh. Well, the more terrifying thing there is that Anko was going to do that. That's the sucky thing. And Ko was good boy, rushes in there and stops her. But yes, now Ko's shot. And yes, I had this initial thought that pops in my head of going, oh crap. Is this the point in which he's finally get turned? Like, is Nazuna going to run in there and then Anko's like, turn him quickly? And that could be a good thing there because it's going to be Anko literally accepting the idea of wanting Ko to become a vampire. Because it'll be the way to save his life. He did a good thing in trying to stop me. He's a good boy. And yes, Anko literally sees herself in Ko. That's what that whole letter was. That text was literally that, which we'll get into in a minute. So yeah, you have Nazuna come in there and she's like, okay, bite him quickly, turn him into a vampire. He can do it. Do it. I don't think it's going to happen. I literally think if Nazuna bites him right now to try and turn him into a vampire to save his life, it's not going to work. And I think they might try it because nothing has happened for Ko's character in for a long time, since last time that she's bit him, that would have changed their relationship. There's not been an aha moment for his relationship with Nazuna. Nothing has changed so far. And so, yes, you can see the fact that he rushed there and put his life in danger, stood in front of Anko for the sake of saving Nazuna. But it wasn't like he came there as a self-sacrifice. He knew what she was doing. There wasn't an element of him fearing for his life in that scenario. He knew what Anko was doing. And he was just trying to stop these two friends. He was doing it for the vampires. He was doing it for these two friends. He wasn't doing it for specifically Nazuna and his love for Nazuna. So I don't think he can change right now. Again, they'll try it. I think it's just going to turn to a thing of Nazuna has to take him quickly to the hospital. He's going to be down for a little bit. He'll get over it. Though I do kind of wonder if it might turn that just because of the fact that how are they going to explain a gunshot? It's probably going to end with Anko arrested. She's got to. I think that's how it's going to turn out. He's going to get to the hospital. They're going to investigate it. They're going to find out it's her, or she's going to just turn herself in, which I think is a good thing. Anko needs to be isolated. This girl needs to get away from something that will harm her. She needs to be in a jail. This girl needs help. She doesn't need to be out there where she can harm herself right now. She's in a very bad state, which, yes, most of this episode is really that. I think the big gut punch of this entire episode is the reveal of what I was expecting last episode. This all was just something to take herself out and make one big last jab at vampires. Because, yes, as we find out with this episode, yes, 10 years ago, that whole horrible thing happened to her. It completely messed with her. She hates vampires so much, and she spent her entire life from that point investigating vampires. I captured one because they were stupid enough to confront me. I got him locked up here. I did as much damage to it as possible. I couldn't kill it. I tried different ways to figure out how they work and how they regenerate. It ends up finding out a lot of similarities between vampires and humans, by the way, which was very interesting. You hurt the same way. The same locations are very, very sensitive or whatever. All that stuff is similar. But then she comes down to the weakness aspect. And yes, she figured that out. But the thing that really messed her up was that after 10 years, all that she got out of it was, I took out a few of them, found their weaknesses, took them out. But there was too many cases where she couldn't find a weakness. She realized, I can't take them all out. What have I been doing? This is a self-realization point of her of what have I been doing with my life? The thing that I sought out to do, I won't be able to pull off. I can't take them all out. What was it all for? That's the big gut punch. I think a lot of people experience this at some point in their life where they go, what was that all for? Have I been wasting my entire time? That realization point hits her. And that's what sends her off the deep end. That, in the end, is the big gut punch for her. I can't do it all. So it comes down to this point where, yes, her mentally and psychologically, she has given up on life. I am tired. I can't do it anymore. I've destroyed everything. I've wasted everything away. I have nothing. This one thing I have, I can't even complete it. So it comes down to, how do I make as much damage as possible? And that comes to what we see in the last episode. Why is she running around and just going pop, 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 pop? I just went in and banging. What is she doing? She's trying to stir them up. Come after me. And that's why she ran all the way to school. She set something up there. I don't know. They didn't really kind of confirm exactly how it was set up, but apparently there was cameras there. She wanted to spark something in them, chase me down, take me out in a bloody splatter. And then when they look into it and they investigate it, they'll find all this information. They'll find the footage and everything, and that'll cause a societal scare that vampires exist. She's like, I can even go on television. Nobody's going to believe me. They're going to think I'm crazy. I can't bring them a corpse because they turn to ashes. But if they see this footage, hopefully it'll bring awareness, and it'll shock people. They'll realize vampires are alive. But it's interesting, and it's the sad reality of the whole thing, is she realized even then it's not going to work. And that sucks. Again, that goes into, I think that's that heavier weight upon the idea of just wanting to end it. She's tired. I'll try this, but it's more of the fact that I'm just tired and I want it to end. And she wants Nazuna specifically to do it. That's the sucky part. I want Nazuna to do it. She realizes it's not going to actually work, and that's because she knows more than anybody else. There's going to be that temporary scare. Even if it's proven on television, they say, don't go out at night, there's vampires that will kill you. It's only going to last maybe a year. People's fear of something just kind of goes away so quickly. Our attention span's so short that very quickly people just kind of get over it and they'll go back out in the night again. And then vampires can feed on them again and they'll live. They're not going to be off the streets for long enough that the vampires will go extinct. She's kind of hopes. Again, a real sad reality that Anko comes to, that she just wants it to end. Again, even after it fails to have Nazuna take her out so that she really badly wanted her to do it, which I think is a really horrible thing to do to a friend, by the way. In the end, she decides, okay, I'll end it. Goes up there, goes to do it once again. And again, Ko comes in there. Good boy. I'm guessing Nazuna was still like weakened because she was like anemic, whatever. So she couldn't make it up there fast enough. Because I'm like, how did Ko make it there before she did? She couldn't move. It sucks. It sucks. I'm glad that Ko picked up on that. I'm glad that he picked up on that last comment. The idea of, I wanted you to do it, and then walks out. It's not over yet. It's not over yet. She said, I'm tired. She said, I'm tired in the end of it. That's not a, okay, I'll give up. I'm going to go back home. No, that's not, I'm tired. I want to sleep. I don't want to keep doing this. It sucks. Anko, like, again, I get that. I get that idea of feeling like you've wasted so much of your time, so much of everything, just wanting to end it all. It sucks. It sucks. Anyways, what else in this episode? I just ran right in here. I'm probably just going to hit each of the points. I did like the opening segment between Ko and Nico. A lot of that has to do with sort of these similarities that he sees with vampires and humans, which we established. It seems like, at least with, Nazuna's group, or at least Nico's group, that group of vampires want to coexist with humans. They don't want to cause problems because humans are their food. If they cause a stink, then people are going to hunt them down. There are going to be problems. People are going to be wary of them and not, follow them around. That kind of stuff. What Ko sees here is that even though Nico and all of them are saying, we got to kill him. We got to take her out. Before she takes us out, we got to take her out. He sees that they're saying that a lot, but they don't mean it. He calls her a liar. Says, you guys are lying. You're all actually scared of killing somebody. You don't want to do that. It ticks her off for a brief moment, but he's like, that's a good thing. It's a good thing that you're lying. It's a good thing that you're not actually okay with killing people. You're strong. And that makes you able to threaten people very easily is because you're so strong. But actually doing the act, you don't want to do that. You don't want to harm people. You're all threats. That's all it is. And that's a good thing, again, because it shows me that you're an ordinary person. You're closer to being human than you actually think you are. And I think that's really cool that later on we did find out from Anko's perspective, she even kind of sees a lot of that too, at least physically. You guys are weak in certain places, just like humans. You can get the wind knocked out of you, just like humans. You're really weak when somebody shoots you in the eyeball. Just like humans. Oh my gosh, when she shot her in the eye, I was like, ugh. And then even the ash, like taking a cigarette to her eye and everything. It's like, gosh dang, Anko, chill out. You're weak just like humans. There's a lot of similarities being drawn between humans and vampires this entire episode, and I like that element because, again, at the same time Anko is trying to take out vampires, we're getting a lot of similarities between the two of them. Ko is trying to point out, you guys are just like us. You're just stronger. You just are a lot more durable. But you're still human. And again, that's what Ko likes about them. That misconception that you might have is there. And he's even had his own fears at times of vampires, especially after that guy in the school. But he acknowledges at some point they're just like us. That's the important thing. It's good stuff. It's good stuff. What else in the episode? What else in the episode? Yeah, the whole encounter between Anko and Nazuna was, ugh. The initial idea that it seemed like, again, Nazuna wanted to talk to her. She wanted to talk her down. But very quickly, Anko turns aggressive. Again, because the only reason that Anko is there with Nazuna is to get Nazuna to take her out. So quickly turns into her literally going aggro. Straight, just jump in there, punching her down, shoot her in the eyeball, and just mocking her, and realizing at some point Nazuna is not going to attack. She's not going to do it. I came here to talk to you. And even though we just shot her in the eye, she's not doing anything. Okay, I'm going to do it. I have a way of getting you to do this. That's when it goes in her. She jumps out the window. I like how, again, briefly, Nazuna runs the window. Sighs of relief. I'm trying to question how the hell did she fall from that high head first and didn't break her neck or something like that. Again, I still don't know how she's this tough. She's supposed to be human, but I swear she's half vampire. To this moment, I still think she's half vampire, even though she's not. Like something got in her system or something. She falls that far and she doesn't die, and she starts running. And Nazuna's like, "Why did I just sigh of relief? Why am I happy she's okay? She's gonna kill Ko. Why am I happy?" Chase her down, them fighting, and then bring up the fact that she texted Ko, "I'm gonna take him out." Sets her off. Nazuna goes nuts. Picking up the balls and just chucking them. She's like, "Oh crap, now you're getting serious." Running all over the place. I have to admit, I hate the lens flares. I hate the lens flares. It's something they've done in the past. They really like lens flares and all the little kind of effects over the screen. I assume that they're doing that to cover up like a lack of animation. Like it's not completely fluid animation. It's a stylistic choice. I don't like it, but it's fine. It doesn't break the show for me. It just bugs me. But yeah, all leading up to Ko showing up. Ko showing up because he got the message from Anko, which I think the message from Anko is really telling. What the message from Anko to Ko says to me is don't do what I did. And this sucks because it is paralleling the two stories so much that I think it makes Ko relate to Anko a lot. And the idea that what that message says, it says, don't come looking for me, don't trust vampires. I doubt that you'll ever be a vampire, just like me. Have you ever imagined how you might feel for the rest of your life if you don't turn? You're still young. You have so much more life ahead of you after you fail becoming a vampire. Ko, you're probably going to fail becoming a vampire just like me. So let me tell you my experience. I lived the rest of my life with regret. It kind of implies the idea that she wanted to, even at this point, become a vampire. And she hates that she didn't become a vampire back there. And I think that could be the idea that she wouldn't have experienced what she experienced if she was a vampire back then, possibly. But she's fearing that Ko, seeing Ko is just like her, is going to fall down that same path. She's trying to help him. I always assumed that Ko was sort of something that attracted Anko so much because he's related to Nazuna in some way. Like the two of them have a friendship. And that's why she's always looking at Ko, always talking to him. But this kind of extends it more in the idea that I'm assuming that when she sees Ko and he's following around Nazuna, and she liked Nazuna and couldn't be turned by Nazuna, she's afraid for him to follow that same path. But I'm kind of wondering if this might actually open the door to a possibility here that Nazuna can't change Ko. If Anko loved, or Meijido loved Nazuna so much and she wasn't able to turn, is there a possibility that even Ko will never even turn as well? There's also the element that Nazuna might be different than the other vampires since she's born vampire, that she might require a two-way relationship. Because with everybody else, all it requires is for the human to love the vampire, then they bite them and they change. What's the possibility that was specifically for a born vampire, the vampire has to love that person too? I'm wondering if that's where it's going because, well, I think that Nazuna did like Meijido. I don't think that she loved her. I think she had maybe like a little crush there or something like that. But I do think that Meijido loved Nazuna. Like really loved her. So it begs the question if possibly Nazuna herself is so different. But anyways, getting back to the message from Anko. Again, I think this is a massive gut punch when you realize that's what she's saying there. Don't make the same mistake I did. You have a life ahead of you. When you don't turn, don't let that be the end. Like for me. Because it is for Anko, for Meijido, it's the end. It sucks. It sucks. Yeah, anyways, it goes in there. Says that she's not one to kill you. The entire time, Anko's like, shut up. You're revealing my secret. Shut up. It's like, no, don't worry, Nazuna. She's not going to do it. It was great. yeah, the big reveal that she's doing this all in order to get Nazuna to take her out and reveal the footage of it to people, scare them from going out at night, just to make vampires go extinct. Hoping that in 10 years they would go mad and die. I think even then it wouldn't work because I think that the vampires themselves would probably, relocate themselves in the night and then hide in houses and stuff like that and drink. Again, this is not really a foilless plan. Like, Anko didn't make this plan like it was without flaws. Again, this is just one big last hurrah before she goes. Not really expecting it to actually work, which again, it sucks. But yeah, as she leaves, I hate that last comment again. Naz, and I wanted it to be you. You couldn't even give me anything that I ever wanted. Again, calling back to her not turning her into a vampire. You couldn't even give me anything. It sucks. It sucks. And Ko being a good boy, telling Nazuna that she did nothing wrong. I don't want you to cry. Before he realizes that it's not it and runs up there to Anko. For taking the guy getting shot in the stomach. Again, I think they're going to have her try to turn him. It's not going to work. She's going to have to rush him to the hospital. Anko's going to probably get arrested. And I think it's going to leave it at that. Ugh. It sucks. It sucks. But a good episode. Good episode. We have 2 more episodes left. I'm assuming next episodes, a lot of it's going to be, again, the aftermath of this. Getting him to the hospital, treating him. Hopefully some sort of answers what happens to Anko. Maybe she changed her life. I think that would be a cool thing as well. There could be an element of Nazuna trying to save Ko might show that it might change something in Anko, make her realize that not all vampires are bad. I don't think that she thinks Nazuna is bad at all. I don't think so. But I think there could be an element there of seeing Nazuna try desperately to save Ko's life. In the wake of a human harming a human, a vampire doing a lot to save that human could flip something in that head to go, I knew this all along, I just didn't want to accept it. But yes, vampires are good. And hopefully that'll be enough to kind of correct her a little bit there. But I think she's going to go to jail. I think she needs to go to jail unless something really changes in her head for her, like, she needs a new purpose in life. If she can't get a new purpose in life right now, she needs to at least be somewhere where she's not in danger to herself. And that's the sucky thing. Anyways, that's my thoughts on episode 10 of season 2 of Call a Night. Really fantastic episode. Hope you guys enjoyed this video as always. If you did, hit the like button down below. If you like this content and want to support our channel more, become a member of the channel. Until next time, you'll take care.